Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the morning room. It's your boy Nan Diesel. With me, I have with me to be co-host as usual. And today we're gonna, switch it up a little bit. I'm actually in Atlantic City right now, getting my gamble on. Tooks was asking me earlier why am I wearing glasses. I told him because I'm shining, baby. Well, yeah. So what's up?
Yeah, what's going on, guys? We're here. Just wanted to touch base again, as always. I got a couple of things going on. I just want to chop it up, freestyle a little bit, but I'm going to throw some questions at Namdi. I want to know his take on it, and then we take it from there. So Namdi, the first question I have for you, right? Return on investments, right?
Okay.
In any business, do you have like a typical number that you look for? Or it depends on the type of business?
That's a good question, and a lot of people tend to ask that question too. And I'll say that there's no hard number, right? But one thing I always look for when it comes to return on investment is definitely it has to be in the double digits. When I say double digits, I don't want any 1%, 2% to 9% return. And I'm talking about annualized return. It has to be definitely the double digits before I ever waste my time with it. That's number one. And now return always goes with something else. You talk about risk. So I have to weigh that return with the risk. So I might be more satisfied taking like a 15% return, 20% return if the risk is not too bad, right? But if it's higher risk, I want higher return too. So if I say cut off, definitely the double digits. And now as far as the way I invest, me specifically, I generally aim for this is to be honest. I generally aim for my returns to be 100% annualized or more. Okay. So that's triple digits. That's really what I aim for.
Right.
But now with that being said, in the investment world and in terms of getting returns in the stock market, if you have your money in the bank, anything in the double digits is good. So if someone wants to invest, like your regular guy wants to put your money somewhere and invest, anything in the double digits is pretty good. I'm pretty aggressive with mine. So I like to really go for the triple digits, But 50% return is still double digits. It's still very high. That's high by any standard. Warren Buffett, all these guys, hedge funds, 20% is it's kind of really high, But me personally, just to answer your question, my cutoff is it has to be the double digits. But if it's like in the lower double digits, then okay, I need to be less risky. I need to be almost guaranteed because now my return is not that much, but I need to be guaranteed, And if it's high, then I could take bigger risks there.
Very good, very good. Now, the reason why I asked is because I have this property that just came on my plate. And when we did the math, it's showing, a 15% ROI on a cash basis, not necessarily cap rate.
Mm-hmm.
Cap rate is about 8%, right? But that's if we're dropping all the cash, right?
Is a rental property you're talking about?
It's a rental, and
okay.
It's fully rented, and it comes to property management. It comes like all the math is already done with maintenance, taxes, everything. Like pretty much whoever is taking it on just simply get to come in and and just sign the paperwork and just get reports.
Okay.
They don't have to be a landlord because again, it comes with property management. That means
okay. Gotcha. So the management is all in there. So in other words, for them, they don't have to even look at the property or deal with the property. It's almost like they invested in a security.
Exactly. Now, if there are repairs or liabilities that come with the property that involves money over time, they're still responsible. But
right.
This is the particular property that hasn't had any history of that, and it's fully rented in the past 3 years. In the past 3 years, only one stove was replaced or something like that. So it's a solicitor and it's been sold on that. I couldn't sell it on the 7-8% of cap rate because that would mean you're dropping all cash, about $262,000. But with like an FHA financing situation, right? They only need about $22,000 in cash, and it's returning about 15% every year. And of course, in addition to that, they're paying down the equity, right? They're paying equity and they're paying down a mortgage, and that's the scenario. So I was just
so is it about 8% if someone pays cash, 50% if they finance it, right? And now you for this example, you're not going conventional, you're going FHA where they put like a small deposit down. There's a substantial loan, but they still make more profit because of the leverage. So that's why you have the 50% versus the 8% return.
Right, right. Because the actual money coming out of
the cash on cash. Okay.
Cash. And for a conventional institution where you drop about 25% of down payment, that's about $60,000 coming out of pocket. About $12,000 or $10,000 about closing costs, about 70 grand. That's coming out to about 10% return on investment.
Okay.
So it's still double digits even if you were doing conventional, because it's still leverage in there, it's massive leverage in there, right? But for cash, so that's something I encountered that I just structured into my business, because typically I just sold these on equity, like after repair value and things like that. But it's just a way to structure a deal so buyers can feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And you know, I thought I'll put in that. But in spite of that, it still had that double digits, right? If leverage has been applied.
I think your best way about going about this one, I think you're headed the right way is through FHA, or someone who wants to actually live there, right? So if somebody wants to live there and rent out, is it like a 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 units? How many units?
So if somebody was gonna live in there, it's a 3-family.
Is it 3? Exactly. So that way someone could. You're better saying somebody wants to live in there and rent out the other 2. So they're not necessarily like an investor who just wants to buy this and just stream income from it, right? If they want to live in there, it's going to cover some of that mortgage. So it's, the way they can see it is like, hey, I'm living at almost for free, or I'm living with very low rent, or low monthly payments. So that, I think that'll be your best buyer in this situation.
Even for an owner occupied, it's even a better scenario, because they will save money on the property management, 10%. They keep that, but they don't need the property management if they're going to be living in the building, right?
Exactly. Or will be a lot less, because it'll be right there.
A lot less. So that money is added into that money is about $300 added to the cash flow that's already there. That's like doubling. That's already like 30%. That creates that's like 30% right there, in ROI, in cash on cash ROI, right? And then on top of that, they don't pay rent, and they're paying down, they're paying down the building equity as well too. So it's even better that way, So yeah, FHA is owner occupied loan in reality, So yeah, I just thought I'll throw that in there. Now my next question for you, okay? I get a lot of people that approach me, right? And they want to ask questions, They want to ask questions. And so, for example, today I had a gentleman call me, and he knows everything there is to know about real estate investing. But yeah, he wants to ask some questions, and then he seems to stop around the internet. So my response to him was,
what was his question?
His specific question was, he just wanted to talk to me. He just wanted to talk to me and see. So a lot of time people call for things like that just because they want to talk. And I'm going to be straight up with you. I'm not always in the mood for that. Like, I'm going to scratch my brain and, collect stuff. I'll give you stuff all day long. I can sit there and talk business like we do, right? But at some point, in the middle of the day, can't really be engaged too much in stuff like that unless there's something productive coming out of it. So I was thinking about it, right? And I was thinking, like, in your opinion, what would be a best way to structure some kind of mentorship, where they're not wasting time, right? But also they can benefit out of it, right? Right? Now I'm thinking in terms of internship, possibly, but not really an internship, because we're dealing with grown adults that are not necessarily in college, right?
Yeah.
What is going on in your brain when I'm saying all I'm saying right now?
It kind of reminds me of a situation I was in like about a couple of weeks ago, like a week and a half. I was talking to this lady about real estate, about all this stuff. And, after a while, she's like, I want to shadow you. I found out she said she wants to shadow me, and she wants to follow me and do everything, see everything I'm doing. And, see how I go about my day, my business and everything, so she could learn from it. Like she literally walked around with me the whole day. It was getting annoying. But I think that's one way you can do it. And it's not going to be anybody, but somebody you think is worth that time, right? Who could be like you could be their mentor, and that's the best one-on-one approach. Like the person is going to pretty much shadow you for a day and see maybe on a busy day and see how you go about your business, how you go structure around your deals, how you look for deals. What time do you wake up? Just sometimes those little habits that you have, right, might actually go a long way in terms of how your business works. could be like it could make it a to-do list. The time you wake up, when you work out, how you handle things, when the way you do your business. Some of those little things. A lot of the theory you could usually find online, right? But everyone has access to the theory, but everyone is doing it, right? So you have to actually see somebody and actually walk with them and see how they're doing things, and then you might learn from it. That's not necessarily how I learned, but I see why she said that, and she was walking out trying to pick my brain, ask me questions, and that way, like how to put it, when you spend time with somebody, you kind of rub off on you, and that's part of what mentorship is about. So she can see how I do my stuff, how I do my business, how I handle my phone calls, who I talk to the most, and she can even get an outside perspective that I never realized about myself, and she will learn from that,
Absolutely.
So that's one way. If you have someone shadow you for a day on a busy day, that could do it.
Shadow me for a day. That's a good one. So basically, this gentleman is not somebody I know. Somebody referred him to me, and he wasn't sure if I think he said he wanted to buy a property also. And after he broke down his number for me, it didn't look like he was ready to buy for me. Low income, and a lot of time, like mortgage bankers, they're ready to give you a pre-qualification. It doesn't matter if you have no income, but typically you're going to be strained. In most cases, if you buy a property prematurely, because that's real responsibility. So I told him that's that, but there are other ways to make money in real estate. And if he wants to learn that, I have a program online, Empire Traffic Academy. They could sign up. It's hundreds of hours of labor. And I said it's $97 per month. And then he said, I don't know if that's what I'm looking for. I'll give you another option. There's tons of video on YouTube for free. I said there's tons of video on YouTube for free. I gotta get off this line in about 2 minutes though, because I have nothing to do. That's what I told him, right? But there's tons of video on YouTube for free,
and this is somebody you don't even know like that. So
I don't know.
Yeah, so the thing is, sometimes people have to realize is this is taking out your time to do something, and it's not a matter of being greedy, but you have to also think of it. What is it for you? For you too.
Being productive. It's about
what's in it for you? Because there are other people who want to also learn this stuff too, right? So I'm not saying don't teach people stuff. Like, we'll do this for free, right? And we'll do this with our own free position. But now, if some people above and beyond and teach you something, it could be just you want to teach them. You see something in there reminds you of you. It could be like a prodigy, and those kind of times it's worth it, right? If it's somebody else you want to mention and bring up like that. But you can't do that for everybody, and this is somebody that you don't even know like that. So you have to also think, okay, what is it for you? And I think some of you actually told me before when you're talking to Grant Cardone and all these guys, at the same time he has to actually bring something to the table for you. If he says, "Hey, Tooks, I got a buyer for that property for you," he has to add value. Yeah, all you need to teach this guy is add value to you, and you can also teach him something in return.
Exactly, and I mentioned that, and I was going to ask you, because you said something, make sure that person is worth, what you're going to be doing, And I was going to say, how would you make sure they're worth? And that was my method of making sure that they're worth my time. So I mentioned that to him. I said, why don't you go watch YouTube videos? But here's the only problem I'm going to tell you. When you get anything for free, you don't take it serious. It's not about you. It's just the way human brain works. If you get it for free, because everybody they know a little bit of something about real estate investing, there's a reason why they're not making money in it. It's because that information is actually all over the place for free. But when you have a program you're going through, it's a sense of accountability that comes with that, and you tend to take it more serious. He now mentioned that he went through some programs with builders.
Right.
And I now say, how much was that? He said, well, it was free, but at the end of it, they were selling me 200. I'm like, bingo. I said, well, guess what? If he didn't buy the 200. So the fact that he didn't buy the 200 is my sign of he's not willing to invest in himself, right? At least then, right? So if he had bought the $200, he would know that at the end of that $200 class, it was selling a $25,000 class and a $3,000 class. And you have to choose between the two, and you can back out, because they have to protect their time too. They're not just gonna. Plus, they have to pay for the hotel room at some point.
Right, and you want to make sure that someone like that is a self-starter, We want to make sure that he could go out there and get it and do it. The fact that he called you is a good thing. You know, he called you, he reached out. You know, he's trying to do things. It's, you know, honestly, people who are taking action toward those steps. A lot of people just talk, oh yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, but what's the action to back it up? What have you done in the past month, in the past couple of weeks to move you towards your goal? I'll ask you this kind of question to see if he's actually making those moves. Yeah, he called you. That's one thing, but now you're not just going to ask. You're not looking for a handout, right? You want to. I want to see what you've actually done in this direction, and now I can push you along in the right direction. But at the same time, you can't take your horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. So you want to move. You want to move people who are already motivated, and that way you're not wasting your time. You're not wasting their time. They're not wasting your time. That's the ideal scenario you want.
And I went ahead and told him. That okay, here's another one. By this time, I already broke my rules. Remember, I said 2 minutes. I already broke my rule, which is something I'm very bad at. I got to get better at that because, truthfully, that time wasn't free for me, so it shouldn't be free for me. So, and I said, here's another thing: if you find anybody that needs to sell a house or something like that, I pay some very nice referral fees. If you know anybody that needs to get rid of a house, I'm the best guy to call. And I said, oh yeah, see, we're talking now. I can scout for you. You want to take advantage and pick my brain. I said, no, it's very simple, bro. I buy houses. If you see a house, it's like I would like to know what location. I was like, I buy any location, any condition, anything. If you see somebody that needs to get rid of a house,
it's a good deal. It's a good deal.
Text me information. I'll do the qualification of the if it's a deal myself. Just text me the information. I will call that person and do the pre-qualification myself. But that wasn't good enough for him. He wanted to, dig in a little bit more. And so he now told me that he was going to buy a property in Newark. That he's just waiting for the bank. I said, how much was the property? He said, $120,000. He said, this property was built in 2002. I said, it was built in 2002. I was like, well,
it's not old.
I said, somebody's trying to sell you a property, a 2-family house in Newark that's built in 2002 for $120 right now, I will go and lock it in and make sure I buy it. I told him that. I said, provided it's not renovated in 2002, it's built in 2002.
Yeah, as long as there's no other liens or any other bullshit going on in the background, but that sounds like a great deal.
Yeah, but sometimes they put in the year built, they put 2002 because it was renovated in 2002. The realtors have been playing that game. So, and that's not the same property. That's 2 different value property, So and I told him, he now said, maybe it's renovated in 2002. I was like, well, you need to find out before you lock in. But it was a lot of shadiness on what he's saying. It wasn't too clear. But what I'm trying to point out here is that I ended up talking more than I wanted to talk, right?
Right.
And time, one thing, the bottom line for all of this, I think it's like you have money or you have time to bring to the table for me. And you got to bring some value. You mentioned something earlier. You got to have value of some sort. If you're not having value of some sort, nobody's going to give you a free mentorship, which is truthfully can be a partnership, because it can evolve to become a partnership, right? Then nobody's going to just give you that time unless you're bringing some kind of value to the table. I even mentioned that, listen, if the house is pretty, when it was grilling me about what kind of house I'm looking for, I said, if it's pretty and somebody just put in a bunch of work, I probably don't want the house simply because there's no way for me to add value to that house. And they probably want top dollars for it, So I mentioned that to him. So that was that about that situation, man. So that's what I want to talk about when it comes to when people are seeking mentorship and partnership. I feel they should approach the situation by bringing some value to the table.
Exactly. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Unless again it's a situation where you got to the point like, okay, legacy, all that stuff. You want to leave something. You want to teach some people. Like we're doing now, we'll do stuff for free. You can do stuff for free. I'm not saying that we're trying to minimize or not share knowledge with people. But at the end of the day, people say time is money. Time is more than money. So if I'm going to give my time to somebody, time is the currency of life. Time is the currency of life. That's the most valuable thing you could give. So if I'm going to give somebody my time, I'd rather give you my money. If I'm going to give somebody my time, it has to be worth it.
Yes. All right. So the last one, let's make this the last but not the least, right? Nigeria. We'll go back to Nigeria now.
Back to the motherland. Wakanda forever, baby.
do you see a connection specifically for Nigeria? Okay, let me give you a few information. Okay, it's 43+% poverty rate in Nigeria, believe it or not. The escape rate, the target escape rate is 12 per year or so, on some type of ratio. But just think of that in terms of ratio, right? But the actual escape rate is negative 6.3. That means the poverty is actually increasing, right? And this is according to worldpoverty.io. That's a website, right? And in Nigeria, we have the culture of religion. You know, religion is big in Nigeria. No matter how you want to shape it, form it, right? I don't think there's any country in the world, I think, that can claim that they're holier than us. If you want to go there.
Well, I use that term holy very loosely, because there's some people that they go to church on their way out of church, they're fighting people on their way out. So
well, that's why I said we. I didn't say me.
I know. I said we like that word holy very loosely.
Very loosely, yeah. So we are holy, you know, and we know this church thing. As a matter of fact, we will wake up on the goddamn Monday morning and go to church, and we have to forget the job, right? So this is the culture in Nigeria, and heavy tithing or heavy belief in tithing, they're not necessarily obeying it either, but to a certain level, they obey it because they talk about it so much, right? So, I mean, we have a scenario where somebody here, but Nigerian, you know, because it goes beyond just the shores of Nigeria. Nigerians take their culture everywhere, right?
Of course.
Was paying
African Chinese.
was paying their tithe with credit card. So think about that for a second. Let that process that, right? The person is paying the tithe with credit card. In other words, they are paying tithe with money they don't have. The idea of tithe is the 10th of money that came in.
Right. You know, but at the end of the day, I mean, it depends on where you're going with this. But at the end of the day, a credit card, you know, if you use it the right way, you can be using it for, you know, just for points. You can use it for a whole bunch of other stuff. You might have the money, but you might just be using it. So, you know,
this particular scenario is
unless it's borrowed money and they're borrowing money to give a tithe.
Yes,
that's crazy.
But that's how much you believe. The point is that's how much you believe in tithing. We will say, you know, maybe I didn't pay the tithe 3 months ago, but I must pay because the pastor just preached something in front of this church right now, and I can't miss this blessing they're talking about right now. You know, there was a scenario where a guy at Shimolowo said everybody should donate $1,000 per every year that they've lived on earth. So if you're 54 years of age, right, you're supposed to do. So it's not just tithing; it's about giving. It's this aggressive form of.
Those people are thieves. They're thieves.
All right, now
I'll be the innocents.
With that level of cultural, I can call it cultural thing around tithing right now. Do you see a correlation between that and the status of the economy in Nigeria at all, or you don't think it's connected at all?
That's a good question. I don't think anyone's asked me that question like that, and I think it's very connected. It's very connected, and when I say it's connected, it's not just necessarily with tithe. It's about religion. It's about spirituality, and it's about how a lot of people in Africa and Nigeria specifically don't know how to connect or disconnect the two. I'm a religious guy, you know what I mean? I believe in God. I've spoken about that before.
Right.
But some people don't think practically. Like, instead of going and taking actions to do something, they'd rather sit down and pray about it. You know what I'm saying? They're hungry, or they want to eat, or they want to drink water. Instead of finding a solution, taking action, and going out there and getting what they need and bringing back the fuck home, some would rather just sit down and pray about it. I think that's the wrong approach to religion. That's taking spirituality and it's like people have this false belief system of how the world works, and that's not how it works. I think my belief is that if God gave me the ability to do stuff, He gave me this muscle, He gave me all the stuff, He gave me this brain, He gave me the ability. Those are the blessings that He has given me to do stuff. So if you're not using that, then that's an insult.
That's an insult.
So if you're not using that and you're sitting down and you're begging God to do something that God has given you the ability to do, then that's an insult. And that's why you're not having shit. Because God gave you the ability to do something, and instead of doing it, you're sitting down and asking.
Right. So now there's this
problem.
That's the problem. That's floating around you know, some few months ago, this radio personality attacked tithing, and then there's this video that's floating around today that somebody compiled him attacking tithing, and then a bunch of pastors came together and just start attacking him back, right? And they've never given that same energy to fight for tithing to fighting corruption in Nigeria.
Because that's a source of income. That's like their tax. You know how the government steals money, steals money for tax and takes everybody's cut. That's their own version of tax. And it's such a bad tax in the sense that it's not necessarily going to the legal system. It's appealing to people's spirituality, people's morals, people's emotions, and those are things that a lot of people can't control. You know?
And because of that exact thing is why I see a correlation between that and the economy. Because if the average mindset thinks that just by me paying tithes, I am going to be as productive as I can possibly humanly be, if that's the way the brain works on an average across a whole nation, to me, it's no wonder why we have a 43+% poverty rate.
It's like brainwashing. It's like brainwashing. Yeah. And I'll talk about that before, like, you know, we mentioned this last time we spoke about tithing. When I give, I don't quote unquote tithe. I give stuff at church and whatever to people on the road. You give from your heart. You give what you think. Okay, so this is what I can afford. This is what I can give. But some people, when they pay tithe, they think it's like an investment. I'm going to put this in so I can get returns. It's not an investment vehicle. It's not a freaking investment vehicle.
As opposed to it being an appreciation. God gave you something, you're giving one.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they do it as an investment vehicle. The other day, I was watching BET. After like midnight, they start showing all this crazy stuff. People are selling packets of water, holy water, miracle water.
Yeah.
And it's the same kind of brain. It's the same kind of stuff that they use to get into people's heads and they you know, manipulate them.
Right. But the only difference is that the average mind here, we just look at that and just go to sleep, right? but when you have
some people do. That's what some people are that desperate. And you know what too? At the same time, I'm not being hard on these guys too, but they're appealing to people who are very desperate. You know people, when someone has no more hope, they're so desperate.
Right.
They can almost fall for anything.
Well, guess what we have?
And that's the problem.
Well, guess where we have most people like that?
In Nigeria and Africa, people are so dead because the policy is so poor. People are so rich, and people are so poor. You know, someone's here on the street, they're begging and they're rolling around in the sand, and somebody's driving past in a Bugatti. You know, that's the disparity. So people, and it's not if everybody is poor, but the disparity is so much that the poor people are actually seeing the rich people around all the time. So is that level of desperation because they feel, oh, if I could do, you know what I'm saying? They feel like it's within arm's reach, but it's not. They have to go through certain steps to get to where they get to. But I think that's what drives desperation even more.
So this is a very hot topic right now. The reason why I mentioned that was one of my childhood friends, something like that. He couldn't see the connection between tithing and Nigeria economy or the poverty rate, and I'm like, am I crazy or something? Maybe it's just me.
It all goes back to, I know we talk about tithing, but it all goes back to the mindset. It goes to the mindset. So for someone to have that mindset of, oh, they think this is 1 + 1 is equal to in this way, and they keep doing this, repeating the same vicious cycle over and over again. And you think after a while you've learned that this thing you're doing is not working, and that's not how God works. Then you learn from it. But you know that's the problem. And the pastors are there to constantly brainwash them over and over again every Sunday. And so it's about what you take in and who you surround yourself with. So if you surround a lot of these people, they surround themselves with people just like them, right? And that's what they're surrounded by. And they go and they all feed themselves this same energy and this same misinformation, and they go back over and over to this same pastor to get brainwashed. Because if they separate themselves for some time and just meditate or think, they'll be able to see that this is wrong and it doesn't make sense. But if you're surrounded people who keep telling the same, yeah, let's keep going, and keep getting brainwashed over and over every week, then it's hard to break that cycle. And they're stuck in that cycle and that freaking wheel.
Especially knowing where we're coming from, knowing that like most of my life right now is essentially just that brainwash, you know. And just to be clear, if you believe in tithing and you want to tithe, that's good for you. But understand it's appreciating something that God already gave.
Exactly. Know the true meaning.
It's not an investment vehicle.
If you want the investment vehicle, come to the money room and we'll show you how to invest.
Exactly.
I'm not saying you want to tithe and give from your heart, That's it. Thank
Help
you.
yourself out, you know.
You make money with the money room. After you make your money, you have your profit to say, this is what I'll say to say thank God. God, thank God. Okay? But don't use that as an investment vehicle.
It's not investment. The only way to make money and be productive.
It's called giving thanks.
I was gonna say it's a hard value.
Oh no! I'll say I'll go on the other side.
The other side,
yeah. It's called giving thanks. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. Tithing means God already bless you. You give 1/10.
So I hope somebody that does that watches this video and understands the whole concept.
Yeah, it's really simple. It's really so simple, but they've complicated it. They had to have a curse on it. So if you don't pay tithe, there's a curse on it. No, motherfucker, there's no curse.
It's like the same motherfuckers that send all those forward texts. They'll say something good. They'll say, if you don't forward this text to 10 people, this is gonna happen. I don't delete those rubbish.
I just delete me too. Me too. I just
get out of here with that bullshit.
I get that WhatsApp all the time. Exactly.
They'll say all this stuff, blah blah blah. They'll say all this sweet stuff, or they say, if you don't forward this, blah blah. You must be mad.
Tell people right now, say, no, motherfucker, I'm actually deleting right now.
So I can continue this your stupid cycle.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think the only way to be productive or to make money or to get whatever you want out of life, honestly, it's still to add value to this life. You need to find a way to add value to other people's life. Find a way to solve problems. If you can't do any of those things, no, God is not coming down because you gave the money and because your pastor said so. Clearly, it's not, because every one of those 10,000 people keep showing up every month with the same problems. Some of them are getting killed on the street of Lagos when they're trying to enter the church, and nobody is talking about solving any problem, and they continue that same cycle and continue, and then yet some people want to sit down there and say, oh yeah, but when he said that I was blessed. No, you weren't blessed because of that. Chances are, if you go look closely, you probably were lucky and it's not going to happen tomorrow, or you added some type of value. Yeah,
that's it. Add value. Two things I'll leave people with for today, but add value, and that second thing that's very lazy is take massive action. You can't just sit in your ass and just pray. Obviously, I'm not saying people should pray, but you have to take massive action, and God will bless your actions. But take massive action. You have to go out there and do what you want to do.
That's it, man. That's it. All right. So today we touched on R.O.I. We touched on tithing and Niger. We touched on mentorship, how to approach mentorship, and it all boils down to adding value, pretty much. Good one, man.
All right, guys. Peace. I'm about to get my gamble on. I'm gonna make some money. This is gambling, though. This is gambling.
That's too much money to waste.
Nah, it's just gambling. It's like cryptocurrency. Put what you're willing to risk, and if I make some, I make some.
Yeah, it's not like your pastor preached on Sunday that you're gonna win some money, right?
Nah, not like that.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, man. Peace.
All right, yo. Peace.